Welcome back. Now we are going to see another concept of test-ng, that is enabled. This is an annotation as it is mentioned over here. I am on the test-ng documentation site. It decides whether to run a particular test or not. So if you mention it as enabled, it will run it, or it will skip it if it is enabled equal to false. The way you do that is, I will directly go into the code to show you this. Just mention enabled is equal to false. Enabled is equal to true is by default. So if you don't mention anything, like for this login method, there is nothing mentioned whether it is enabled is equal to false, whether it is equal to true, nothing is mentioned. So it will run, it will assume that enabled is equal to true by default for this login method. Now let's see. We will execute this and we will see how it executes. I will just right click on test-ng XML, run as. So first let me show you, I have disabled the registration and reservation. So the only tests that should run are login and checkout, because we don't have anything else other than that in our first test.java. Looking into the testng.xml file, there is only one class that we are executing, that is first test, and I have given the full qualifier over here, testng.demo.source.firsttest. Now let's go ahead and right click and run as testng suite. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we get our result here, checkout 1 executed and login 1 executed. So checkout 1 and login 1, as I mentioned earlier. So login will get executed since it has enabled is equal to true by default, and checkout will get executed since it has no qualifier, it has no annotation stating whether it is enabled is equal to true or enabled is equal to false. So it takes the default one, that is enabled is equal to true, and it executes checkout also. And as expected, registration and reservation are not executed since it has this defined after the test @test enabled is equal to false for registration and also for reservation. So this is what enabled is all about, and in the next session we will see about the factory annotation.